Let's rank every Evo skill on a tier list, including the new Inferno bomb and Thunderbolt bomb, and then talk about which one is better. Like and subscribe, please. Let's go. In the C tier, the Magnetic Rebounder, Force Barrier, and Caltrops. The Magnetic Rebounder spins 2 objects around your hero that remain in one place and spread outward before fading into obscurity. They can certainly deal a lot of damage to enemies within range and can be effective in situations where mobs begin to swarm around you. Furthermore, the passive skill used to create this Evo can increase item loot range, making it easier to pull biofuel and other loot toward you. The Force Barrier provides a permanent orange force field around your hero that deals damage and pushes the enemy back. It can be very effective in the early chapters and early stages of later chapters when monsters have lower HP. The radius of the Force Barrier can help protect you in close proximity situations where monsters get too close. However, in later chapters, the Force Barrier simply doesn't have enough power to be very effective. And although it can push the enemy back, the knockback provided by the defender might be a little more useful. If you need a skill to help you with close combat situations that pairs up with a passive skill that heals you every 5 seconds, then use this. The Caltrops is great, especially early on in the game at clearing out a space in order to make a getaway path if mobs are closing in on you. You can run behind or under it while you retreat from enemies. In addition, it can deal damage and shoot spikes at the enemy across the map. However, the range of the Caltrops drastically changes when you equip the nanobot, and with the flight control skill, the Caltrops will fly around your hero instead of all over the map. This does provide decent defense when you're using the nanobot, and the HE fuel used to create the Evo skill is a great passive skill to use. In the B tier, we have the Death Ray, Shark Maw Gun, and Thunderbolt Bomb. The Death Ray shoots a laser where your hero was initially standing that can do things like remove lasting damage effects from the ground and cause damage. When the Annihilator is equipped, the lasers will slow enemies who get hit, which can be very useful when running between mobs of enemies. The Shark Maw Gun is one of the best skills to use when kill farming, and it works great when combined with the High Maintainer tech part that reduces its cooldown, as well as passive skills that reduce the cooldown even more, increase the overtime effect, and increase range. If you want to know more about using this skill to farm maximum kills, I'll leave a link to another video in the description. You can really get a lot out of the skill, but it's not as effective as the skills above it. However, it does combine with HE Fuel, which increases range, and that is a very useful passive skill. When you combine the modular mine with the lightning emitter, you get the Thunderbolt Bomb, one of the newest Evo skills in the game. The Thunderbolt Bomb is a bomb that explodes like a mine when enemies get nearby and sends electrical shockwaves in different directions. I found it useful against some high HP mobs, and it certainly can be effective, but its counterpart seems to deal much more damage. In the A tier, we have the Whistling Arrow, Destroyer, 1-ton Iron, and Defender. I personally see the Whistling Arrow as somewhat of a utility weapon, like a utility baseball player who can play multiple positions well. It can be effective against mobs of enemies as it constantly looks for its next kill, and it can maintain persistent damage output against bosses. In addition, the ammo thruster used to create this Evo skill increases bullet flight speed, which makes the projectiles of your weapon and your skills fire even faster. The Destroyer evaporates elites and bosses like no other skill in the game. You almost feel bad for the bad guys. However, the range, although it can be enhanced by using HE fuel, can be seen as a problem. When fighting a boss, you may have to chase them in order to target them with the drone's missiles, and this can be tough sometimes. The 1-ton Iron deals massive damage as it launches irons around your hero that hit enemies all across the map. In addition, it can deal penetration damage as well as push enemies back. It's one of the best damage getters against crowds, so if you're looking to wipe out mobs of enemies, then use this. The Defender deals damage and knocks the enemy back. The knockback caused by the Defender is very useful in many chapters, but the damage caused by the rotating tops may not always be enough. If you need a skill to knock the enemy back even just a little, then use this. It can help when running through empty paths between heavy HP mobs in later stages. Finally, in the S tier, the Inferno Bomb, Supercell, Fuel Barrel, and Quantum Ball. The Inferno Bomb is insane. It has the potential to deal the most damage and works great against mobs and bosses if you can get the boss to chase you toward a bomb. When the bomb explodes, it will light the ground on fire, dealing lasting damage, and it just seems to be very effective and powerful enough to be in the S tier. And according to a YouTube poll we posted, most people like the Inferno Bomb more than the Thunderbolt Bomb. If you don't want to miss a poll like this or other community posts, make sure to subscribe. The Supercell is great against against bosses and can hit multiple enemies all over the map at once. I personally always use this with assistance in defeating bosses. I don't always want to chase them with a destroyer, and keeping a distance may be beneficial. In addition, the energy cube used to create this Evo skill will decrease cooldown, and you can't go wrong with having an effective boss killer and a reduced cooldown. It's a great combination. The fuel barrel is one of the best, if not the best, mob killers in the game. Although it won't kill every mob, in every chapter the coverage provided by the flames is unlike any other skill in the game. It allows you to essentially constantly damage everything on the screen. The quantum ball is another skill I see as a utility weapon. It is great against mobs as it bounces from target to target, and great against bosses. In some cases, it can deal an insane amount of damage to a single target, which is why it's hard to keep it out of the S tier. We have the Inferno bomb that can deal high volumes of damage, the supercell that takes care of elites and bosses, the fuel barrel to help defeat mobs, and the quantum ball, a utility weapon. Then we can look down at what we need. Do we need another utility skill that can help in different areas like the whistling arrow, help to defeat bosses quickly with a destroyer, heavy mob damage from the 1-ton iron, or knockback from the defender? The death rate provides slow if you use the annihilator, and the caltrops can provide good defense or a way out of trouble. These skills are excellent because they are unique and can be used however you like. Just because something is in the C tier doesn't mean it's terrible and you shouldn't use it. There's a use for every skill here, and that's why I suggest you check out other more specific tier list videos on this channel, like best skills versus bosses. I'll leave some links in the description. Thanks for watching, make sure to like and subscribe, and if you found this video useful, there is a new thanks feature if you wish to support this channel that way. Thanks again for watching, have the best day ever, and good luck.